Two lands, one story. A tale of millennia that the world can't stop watching. Welcome to the enigma of Israel and Palestine. Journeying back over 3,000 years, we encountered the ancient Israelites, a people with a covenant. Descended from Abraham, these 12 tribes forged a united kingdom under iconic figures like King David and his son Solomon. The Grand Solomon's Temple in Jerusalem became a beacon of their faith and unity. But before Israelites, the land cradled other civilizations. The Canaanites, Philistines, and others had already called this fertile crescent home. Trading, farming, and building cities, they laid the first bricks of a region's rich tapestry. The Levant's strategic location made it a jewel many empires coveted. The Romans, with their might and engineering, graced the land but also destroyed Jerusalem's second temple. The Byzantines brought with them majestic arts and Christianity, turning the region into a cradle of early Christian thought. Then the waves of Islamic conquerors, the Umayyads and Abbasids, introduced a new language, religion, and culture, transforming the Levant into an intellectual powerhouse of the Islamic Golden Age. But peace was ephemeral. The thundering hooves of crusaders would soon echo, seeking the Holy Land for Christendom. So, as we stand on this mosaic of history, we realize the Levant isn't just a piece of land. It's a story where every grain of sand holds a tale, faith, power, and civilization. A prologue to the modern enigma of Israel and Palestine. As empires crumbled and the world raced towards a new era, two distinct dreams blossomed in the heart of the Levant. The late 19th century saw Theodor Herzl, a Jewish journalist, voice a dream echoing in the hearts of Jews worldwide, the dream of Zionism. Facing persecution in Europe, many Jews saw Zionism not just as a dream, but as a necessity for survival. The moment aimed to establish a homeland in what they viewed as their ancestral land. Simultaneously, the Arab lands emerged from Ottoman shadows. A unique Palestinian identity was forging. Their dreams, sovereignty, culture, and a state to call their own. 1917, a letter changes the course. Britain's Balfour Declaration. It being clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine. This single document ignited hope for Zionists and concerns for Palestinians. With Britain's new mandate over Palestine, tensions between aspirations and realities began to flare. As Jewish immigrants poured in, the demographic fabric of the region transformed. With each train and ship, aspirations grew stronger, but so did apprehensions. Two peoples, two dreams, one land. As the sun set on the Ottoman Empire, the stage was set for a new chapter in the heart of the Middle East. 1947, a landmark year. The globe's nations gathered, deliberating over a strip of land drenched in history. The UN presents a plan, a daring proposal to divide the British Mandate of Palestine. One land, but envisioned as two states, one Jewish, one Arab. As joy erupts in Jewish streets, Palestinian towns echo with protests. Two vastly different reactions, mirroring deep-seated hopes and fears. By 1948, hope gives way to hostility. War breaks out. A newborn state, Israel, claims its place on the map, yet not without a price. For Palestinians, this marks Nakba, or catastrophe. Villages emptied, homes left behind, a people's traumatic exodus that would be remembered for generations. In makeshift tents amid foreign lands, thousands of Palestinian families find refuge. Their dreams of returning home kept alive through stories, keys of old homes, and the scent of orange blossoms. Two narratives, one land, both marked by moments of joy, sorrow, hope, and despair. Their stories continue to weave the intricate tapestry of the Israel-Palestine enigma. Jerusalem, a city at the heart of it all, revered by many, claimed by both. The journey of its people is as ancient as its stones, and its future remains a question the world hopes to answer. In the heart of the Middle East, as superpowers played their global chess, a tiny region became their board. 1956, the Suez Crisis, a tripartite invasion by Israel, Britain, and France against Egypt. It wasn't just a canal, but global power plays and regional dominance. Fast forward to 1967, the Six-Day War. 6 days that changed the map. Israel faced an alliance of Arab nations and, in under a week, territories like the West Bank, Gaza, and the Golan Heights changed hands. 1973, the Yom Kippur War. Surprise attacks on Judaism's holiest day. A near catastrophe for Israel, but a war that would eventually open doors. But wars weren't the only scars. The Palestinians' uprisings, or intifadas, made headlines. Streets resonated with cries for freedom. Tragic tales of lost lives on both sides painted a somber picture. Yet, amid the chaos, there was a glimmer of hope. Leaders saw peace. Camp David, 1978, a historic handshake. Egypt's Sadat, Israel's Begin, brokered by America's Carter. A peace deal, a Nobel Prize, but also a tragic assassination. As the world watched, Israel and Palestine became emblematic. Their story, a mix of ancient grievances, modern geopolitics, and the timeless human quest for a place called home. It was the 90s. Grunge was in. Cell phones were getting smaller, and in a far-off corner of the world, hope was emerging from decades of deadlock. Enter the Oslo Accords, a series of agreements meant to put an end to years of animosity between Israelis and Palestinians. They weren't a final solution, but a stepping stone, a promise perhaps of a peaceful horizon. But like many promises, it came with its fair share of complications. A historic agreement, a betrayal of the Palestinian cause, a risk for Israel's security. Many hailed it, seeing the potential of two states living side by side. Yet many also criticized, fearing what compromises would mean for their futures. The road to peace, it seemed, was still laden with potholes. And then, tragedy. Yitzhak Rabin, Israel's prime minister and a key figure in the Accords, was assassinated. The man who sang songs of peace was silenced. The act carried out by an extremist from his own nation, threw a dark cloud over the peace process. Rabin's vision was clear: yes to peace, no to violence. But with his demise, questions arose. Could peace continue without its most vocal advocate? Would the handshake of hope be reduced to just a memory? Rabin's voice: we must think differently, look at things in a different way. Peace and reconciliation are our greatest sanctuary. The 90s may have been a mix of highs and lows, but the quest for peace, it never goes out of style. As the clock struck midnight in 2000, the Middle East was not simply welcoming a new century. It was gearing up for shifts, shakeups, and showdown. Enter Hamas. Initially, it began as a social welfare organization, but soon transformed. And by 2006, they weren't just a group, they were in governance, winning the Palestinian legislative election. Quick facts flash. Hamas charter initially called the replacement of Israel with a Palestinian Islamic State. From underground tunnels to rocket barrages, their tactics became a game changer in the Israel-Palestine dynamics. Israel, the US, and the EU label them as terrorists, while others see them as resistance fighters. Meanwhile, on hilltops and valleys, Israeli settlements expanded. What started after the 1967 war had by the 21st century become neighborhoods, towns, and cities. Quick facts flash. Settlements are considered illegal under international law, though Israel disputes this. The world watched, debated, and sometimes intervened. These settlements, often surrounded by barriers and checkpoints, became both symbols of Israeli persistence and Palestinian grievance. And amidst all this, the dream of peace lived on. The roadmap was laid, a two-state solution, but the road not so straightforward. Quick facts flash. The two-state solution envisions an independent state of Palestine alongside the state of Israel. Walls rose, some physical and others invisible. Yet there were always glimmers of hope. People on both sides, ordinary yet extraordinary, kept kept the dialogue alive, whispering the possibility of a harmonious tomorrow. Behind every news article and political debate, there are ordinary people with dreams, aspirations, and daily routines not so different from our own. Tel Aviv, a modern metropolis. Here, mornings often begin with a brisk walk along the beach, the scent of fresh pastries wafting from local bakeries. In contrast, Ramallah buzzes with its own unique rhythm. Streets come alive with market vendors, the aroma of strong Arabic coffee, and the chime of church bells blending with the call to prayer. Despite the political divide, instances of unity thrive, like this joint soccer league where children from both sides come together, fostering friendships and breaking down barriers without uttering a word. In the olive groves, the annual harvest becomes a celebration of cooperation. Olives, a symbol of peace, reminding everyone of the shared roots and intertwined futures. A young Israeli girl dreams of becoming an astronaut. Gazing at the stars of the Negev desert, she wishes for a future where borders are only seen from space. Across the divide, a Palestinian boy in Hebron, with a book in hand, imagines a world where he travels freely, sharing tales of his homeland. These stories, simple yet profound, underline a universal truth. Beneath the layers of politics and conflict, the human spirit, with its dreams and aspirations, remains unchanged. It's essential to remember that beyond every headline, every debate, there's a shared sunrise and sunset, and a hope that tomorrow might be a little brighter for all. Centuries of history have shaped this sacred patch of earth, from ancient prophets walking its cobblestone streets to modern diplomats seeking resolutions in boardrooms. Israel and Palestine, two distinct narratives bound together by geography and history. Their story is not just of conflict, but also of culture, resilience, and shared aspirations. Both have contributed immensely to the world, be it through literature, science, art, or cuisine. The hummus and the falafel we relish, the hauntingly beautiful music, the rich tapestry of tales, they're all a part of a vibrant mosaic. But it's not just about what divides these two nations, it's about what unites them. Dreams of safe homes, prosperous futures, and laughing children are universal. The age-old olive trees, standing tall in these lands, have witnessed countless sunrises and sunsets. They've seen empires rise and fall, and they remain, much like the enduring spirit of the people here. Centuries of history, decades of modern conflict, two peoples, one land, their destinies intertwine. As the quest for peace continues, it is stories like these that remind us of our shared humanity. Let us keep these tales alive and journey together through more. If this story resonated with you, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more enlightening tales. Every story is a bridge, and by understanding them, we light the way ahead. And before you go, share your thoughts in the comments below. Together, we can envision a world of understanding. See you in the next video.